So before we start this video, very exciting about a future project car on the channel. I want you guys to comment below on any questions you have about anything. So this can be about the M5, the M3, about me, about where the channel is going to go, about what are my favorite wheels or whatever. So this is a time I usually do about quarterly questions on everything, and I'm going to do a dedicated video on just answering questions. But before we jump into the video, I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to use this comment box below to ask any questions that I may not have gotten to before, or something that you want to ask that's not necessarily about anything specific. Alright guys, how the heck are you? Today is actually Thanksgiving, so if you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. If you don't, hope you are having a good weekday or weekend. Today's video is going to be something that is definitely possible, but something that I never really considered in my life or on the channel or anything like that, and that is regarding a project vehicle or a project car. So for me, a lot of times I'm pretty good at envisioning something when I'm really driven and I'm really ready for it, but not always. So when it comes down to a project car, I never really had something in mind that I wanted to do. I never had some, you know, LS swap dream or anything like that. But as I've been on Bring a Trailer a lot recently, just really that site, if you've ever been on it, it's really a site that originally used to be a site where you'd buy a car where you actually needed to pick it up with a trailer usually, but now it seems to filter out a lot of the junk, and they actually sell really cool cars. You know, you see a lot of more desired vehicles on that site. Little highway entrance for you. But anyways, I came across this E30. It was not an M3, of course, because a project car for me, I want to keep a little bit cheaper. But what was really special about this car that I never really could envision on my own is that it had an engine from an E36 M3. So it has a E36 M3 engine, and what's even better than that is it actually has a manual transmission from an E60 BMW. So you have two things which were historically pretty good. A naturally aspirated straight six from the E36 is a great engine, very reliable, very predictable, very fun. That was really, you know, kind of one of the pinnacle engines that a lot of people think about and why people really love those cars. But it's in an E30, which that's a problem why I never really was interested in E30s that much, is how slow they feel. You know, I'm used to the M cars that are, you know, pretty quick and respectable. I mean, even the M5, everyone I know that drives it, they are actually very, very surprised, and any expectations they had were definitely passed by the performance of the car once they drive it. The 318IS is a car that is already done. So kind of what my vision is something like this for the channel or in my life in the future. I'm not saying that this is something that's going to be imminent, but I'm definitely saying that if the right car comes around, I may consider it, because the problem for me is, you know, the M3 doesn't have a lot of future mods that I want to do to it. And part of the reason is because anything more that you can do to that car is very expensive, aka a supercharger. So I'm not willing to spend that much money on a supercharger. If there's a company out there that wants to work with me and you know, their car can be on my channel and I can do a supercharger, I would definitely do it. Same thing with the M5. If there's, you know, companies that are willing to partner, I would definitely do it. But to be honest, I'm just not willing to spend the thousands of dollars to supercharge a car that, you know, it seems it's just a lot of money. So I'm just not ready for that. What I am ready for is to spend, you know, a lot less money on a car that I'm not afraid to break. I'm not afraid to take apart. I'm not afraid to take apart the cars I have now, but it's a car that I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more involved mods and maintenance and all kinds of crazy mods to it. Whereas the other cars I own, like the M5, you know, I like the OEM Plus. I'll do a few things here and there, but as far as big power or crazy performance or anything like that, these cars I kind of want to drive as much as I want without worrying about reliability, which is kind of what happens when you start getting when you start modding too crazy. I'm going to insert some pictures and videos from this car. Why I wanted to share this with you guys is to get your opinion on a car like this and see your thoughts. Okay, so something else about the E30, the 318 car that I've been sharing with you guys. I'm going to insert a bunch of you know, pictures and videos, and what's cool about bringing trailers, that people are very, very involved in sharing all the information. They're usually cars that people care about and things like that. But unfortunately, this car was not successfully sold on Bring a Trailer. I believe the reserve was not met. So it wasn't sold. It was ended around $8,100 was the ending price. Honestly, I would scoop this thing up for $8,100. I feel like well over that was put into the car, and a car with a freaking E36 M3 engine is just amazing. And I think I would actually be able to work on it pretty successfully. I have not done a lot of engine work historically on the channel, but I think this would be a great gateway to get into something like that a little more serious. Another thing that I think is super cool about this car is not only how clean it is, but it actually has a stereo system done, a custom stereo system. I am sort of a closet like stereophile. I'm very critical about the systems that are in my cars. Historically, I've not done a lot on the channel regarding installation of like sound, you know, systems or anything like that. But before I really had a full-blown YouTube channel, I actually did a video on my Honda Accord that I did a full system in. I did amps, I did all the speakers, all that stuff I did to it, and I just very, very, very basically documented it. So I would like to do on sort of a project car, maybe a system in it, depending, you know, that's gonna be a car that I, you know, drive on the weekends or go to Cars and Coffee, or it's gonna be more of an event car. But what's fun about a car like that is there's always something going on. With that said, guys, what do you think? I mean, what do you think? I mean, if I were to build a car, if you just gave me a stock E30 that was, you know, very clean, in good shape, what do you think that that would be a good build? I mean, I don't want to do a big turbo. I don't want to do crazy power. I don't want to do anything too insane that prevents me from kind of enjoying it. But what I do want to do is things that are kind of ongoing mods. So I would definitely do some interior, I do some audio, I do some performance. But I don't know, you know, maybe a supercharger depending on, you know, the future and stuff like that. But I don't want to do anything crazy, and I kind of think, you know, driving around the M3 and the M5, you know, maybe I have to sell one of those cars to kind of get involved in something more seriously. But you never know. I mean, I think that that would be, you know, you guys would still get your regular content that you like, you know, the detailing stuff. But it would also segue me, you, and the channel and others into enjoying an older car that is really fun to work on. There would always be something to do. So something that you guys can probably notice from the pictures and the video is that this car is a unique color. And the reason for that is because it's actually fully wrapped. The real color of this car is black. And it's wrapped pretty well. I was looking at all the seams and all the pictures really close, but I don't want another black car. I really wanted to share that with you guys. I was just so excited, and I felt like if I could just plop a car down, you know, in my face, it would look something like that if it was a Project E30. I'm kind of thinking a Project E30, because regular E30s are actually pretty cheap. You can get a light, you know, a used one with, you know, no rust and pretty good shape between 5 and 10 grand. You know, I've been looking all around, and I've been interested in, you know, scooping one up. I have 3 cars right now, so this isn't something that's going to happen right away, but it's something that I've been thinking about from a fun in the garage standpoint, but also something that's fun for you guys is, you know, you see a lot of people that have their, you know, their project car, or a car that's more project oriented, and that's kind of what I'm going for here. So if that makes sense, I hope you guys can kind of see. By the way, I can definitely tell you the M5 has been a joy to daily drive. I have literally been driving this car 6 to 7 days a week to work, on road trips to Pittsburgh. Right now I'm headed to my sister's, which is a couple hours away, and it's seriously like, I've done very little to this car. Of course, when I bought it, it needed very little. So I would hate to sell it after it's been such a good car to me. But I can't accumulate cars like, I just don't have room or the money for it, or really even the patience for that many cars. So there is a chance that the M5 would be swapped out with a new car on the channel. If you guys are saying sell the Jeep, there's really no point in selling the Jeep right now because I don't owe any money on it and I haven't put money into it in a really long time. More details to come on the Jeep, so if you're interested in the Jeep, you can definitely comment below. But the Jeep, I will reveal, if you're sticking around for this video, you probably deserve to know that the Jeep is actually not even in Ohio right now. It's in another state because there's big things happening for me. I'm really excited for all these big things. Smile on my face, my cheeks already hurt from smiling about it. So yeah, I will do a dedicated video describing what's happening, why, how, when. But if you're watching this video right now, I would say within a few weeks, you will have a lot more information on what is happening with the Jeep and the channel and everything kind of in general. If you haven't asked about sort of the Project E30 or the Jeep or whatever about the channel, definitely comment below on something general that you want me to answer. With that said, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for listening to me talk about something that's really exciting. As much as I want like a truck to replace the Jeep and a new car, an old car, all this stuff is, I think a Project E30 might be the next car on the channel. There's always a chance for something different, but we'll see. I'll see what you guys have to say. I'm always interested in the conversation. I like the conversation so much and the value. And if you guys are new to the channel, thank you again for watching. I know a handful of guys came over from Justin's channel recently when we did a bunch of content on his channel. So yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. Happy Thanksgiving, happy weekend, happy Hanukkah, whatever it happens to be for you. Hope you are doing well. Comment below. I will see you guys next time.